And he told them many things in parables, saying, A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears, let him hear. Jesus spends a lot of time teaching in parables, and these parables are intended to help us understand the way that the kingdom of heaven works, to put the reality of the work of God, his people, and the story of our redemption into terms that make sense for us. I've got this particular parable on my mind today as I think about spiritual maturity. If you've heard the gospel, the story of God's redemption of humanity and triumph of his kingdom through the life, death, and resurrection of his divine Son, Jesus, you've either accepted that gospel or not. And after you've accepted the gospel, you either mature in it or you don't. Now, it takes time for a seed to grow. Sometimes it lands and waits for the right conditions to be present. Sometimes a few of those conditions are present and it sprouts. A shoot grows upward and the beginnings of roots take shape. But most of the nutrient for an early sprout comes from within the seed itself. It's possible with little root penetration for a seed to even grow leaves and flower, but it's also possible that that plant will wither and die. It's only when the roots dig deep into the soil that the plant has the best chance of surviving the winds that could pull its shallow roots up. How do we let the gospel take root in our hearts so that we mature in our faith? How do we allow it to grow, to not just flower in our lives, but to actually bear fruit? Let's spend some time over the next several videos looking at that more closely. I love you. And I pray that you would not only know the gospel, but that you would allow it to take root in your heart so that it can bear real fruit in the lives of all those around you.